Good morning. My name is Margaret Everett. I'm the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Roger Williams University. It is my pleasure to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for the 67th Commencement Ceremony of Roger Williams University. Hey. You may take your seats. Welcome to one and all on this important occasion, to our graduates, their families, and friends, to our dedicated faculty and staff, members of the Board of Trustees, President Mialis, our commencement speakers, Joyce and Bill Cummings, our distinguished honorary degree recipients, and all our special guests. We gather today to celebrate you, the class of 2023, to recognize the milestone you have reached today and honor your achievements as we look forward to your future accomplishments. Today's commencement begins with the singing of our national anthem by the talented Brooklyn Senatiempo, a graduate student of the class of 2023. Please rise. Please rise now if you're able and remove your hats for the national anthem, and then you may be seated for welcoming remarks, which will be delivered by President Mialis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning. To the members of the Board of Trustees, to our honorary degree recipients, Michael Cox, Tom Gilbane Jr., Fred Gray, the Honorable Nettie Vogel, and my dear friends Joyce and Bill Cummings. To the faculty and staff of Roger Williams University, to our alumni, friends, and family of the graduates, and especially to our graduates. Welcome to Commencement Day for the class of 2023, and it's a great day to be a Hawk. On behalf of the Roger Williams University Board of Trustees and the entire community of faculty and staff, I congratulate you all for your accomplishments throughout your Roger Williams career. I'm a first-generation graduate. I was the first in my family to attend a four-year college, and I would like to recognize first-year graduates today. Could you please rise if you're a first-generation graduate? Congratulations. A Roger Williams education has prepared you with a deep competence in your major, or multiple majors, as well as a broad range of learning across minors and general education, and with real-world practice within your future profession. Every student I meet can articulate their story of the interdisciplinary blend of majors and minors that you have assembled, the rigorous research, the high-impact projects with community partners, challenging internships or student teaching, and comprehensive legal clinic experiences and policy analysis you have gained along the way. You have earned all the rights and privileges that the Roger Williams degree will afford you in your lifetime. We're all proud of you. You and I started at Rogers together in the fall of 2019. All was good until March 2020, when things went really bad because of COVID. We went through tough times together that we overcame. We're stronger because of that. I have a very special bond with all of you, so I feel obliged to give you some personal advice. Your life is the performance, not a rehearsal. Live it, love it, enjoy it. Don't just continue preparing for it. It is happening now. Combine your work with things you enjoy, your personal passions and hobbies. Find a life passion and stick with it, a passion that will continuously define your goals and fuel you with endless energy. Question the norm and the expected. Let your life passion determine your direction, not your parents, colleagues, spouse, partner, and friends. Talk to them, listen to them. Be a good listener, but then follow your gut feelings and instincts. Most of the fun is out of your comfort zone. Question the norm and the expected. In your professional life, most of the excitement is not in your traditional discipline. It is hidden in the crevices between your discipline and others. If you're an engineer, explore biology and use your knowledge and problem-solving skills to discover biology that biologists cannot. If you're a health scientist, learn engineering design processes and invent new drug delivery mechanisms that will save lives. You're now equipped with critical thinking skills. You know how to collect and interpret data. You have built your own designs with your own hands. You have performed and created beautiful works of art, and you have worked on real problems, real research, and represented real clients. Use all these skills and tools at your disposal to tackle what is next in your life. A Roger Williams education is a call to think beyond yourself and to use your education to make a difference in the world. Always think about the impact of your actions on others, the impact of a business decision on the environment, the impact of a policy on marginalized individuals, the ability of a piece of art or artistic performance to bring joy and a sense of community and insight into society. If you're in a leading position, Roger taught you to always use integrity, honesty, and transparency toward your followers to help them make decisions. And if you are led by others, use the critical thinking skills your professors taught you to weigh both sides of a case your leaders present to you and make sound decisions based on real facts. In your professional life, have children because you really want to, not because that is what people do or your parents tell you that you should. By the way, children are wonderful, but grandchildren are even better. I have 2 daughters and a little granddaughter, and I'm crazy about all of them. Travel to areas that will make your friends think you are out of your mind. And when you travel to big, overpopulated cities, visit the food markets where the natives buy their food and taste foods you never thought would belong to a plate. And always remember, you're not too young or too old to do anything. Be a true ambassador to your profession, get involved with your local school, and inspire young people to dream to become a professional like yourself. Be a good ambassador for Roger. Roger will always be a big part of your life. Roger Williams University is now transforming for good to a great university. Remember, the better Roger is, the more value your degree has. I studied at Tufts in the early 80s. After I graduated and met people at parties, and I was asked where I went to college, I said Tufts, and the typical response was, "That's nice." Tufts was in a path of transformation like Rogers is now, and now Tufts is on the top 25 or so best schools in the country. When people ask me now at cocktail parties where I went to school, and I say Tufts, the typical response I hear is, "Oh my God, that's amazing. My degree has appreciated significantly without me doing anything." And this will happen to you. Stay close and be part of the Roger transformation. Graduate of the Roger Williams University, class of 2023, now is your time to go forth into the world with confidence and resolve and make your mark on the world. My wife and life partner, Heidi, Happy, the university's first dog, and I wish you best luck. Thank you, and go Hooks!
Thank you, President Mialis. I would like to take a moment to introduce the members of the platform party. In addition to Roger Williams University President Yanis Mialis, Grand Marshal Robert Blackburn, our distinguished our distinguished honorary degree recipients, Michael Cox, Thomas Gilbane Jr., Fred Gray, and the Honorable Nettie Vogel, and our 2023 commencement speakers and honorary degree recipients, Joyce and Bill Cummings. Also, the senior leadership of Roger Williams University is represented here by members of our Board of Trustees, our academic deans, and the university vice presidents. We recognize them for their dedicated and responsible stewardship of the institution as they continue to shape RWU as a transformational leader in higher education. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the chairman of the board at Roger Williams University, Tim Yeaton. Tim, a former president and CEO of multinational software and technology management companies, is an alumnus of the class of 1980 and has given his time to RWU for many years as a trustee and past president of the RWU Alumni Association. Tim.
Thanks, Margaret. I'd like to add my welcome to President Mialis's. Appreciate everybody being here. And my first question for the graduates of the class of 2023 is, how was the fountain last night? Huh? Well, when I was in school here, we didn't have a fountain. Our choice was to jump in the dirty pond or throw cups of water in each other's faces. So we did the latter. Now I've got to find my little talk here. Oh, there we go. So I have the unique privilege today of speaking to you not once, but twice. So right now, as chair of the Board of Trustees, and a little bit later, as a fellow alum, to welcome you to the alumni family. I know everybody's interested in getting going on with the festivities, so in my combined remarks, I'll try to limit myself to 45, 50 minutes, if that's okay. As Margaret mentioned, I'm a proud alum, class of 1980. Now, I wasn't a math major, so that makes me old. So anyway, I've been on the board for well over a decade, took over the chair responsibilities from a good friend and also a fellow alum, a gentleman named Tim Baxter. You might notice a trend here. The chairs of the board and the leaders on the Board of Trustees are more and more alums, including, obviously, the chair. Now, it helps to be chair if your first name is Tim. But, so, any Tims in the audience, you got a good shot. So seriously, we do have more alumni on the Board of Trustees than at any time in our history, including every one of our vice chairs. It wasn't always this way, though. For many years, there were only a couple of us, which brings me to you, the class of 23. To say this class is extraordinary would be a horrible understatement. Our undergraduates arrived again in 2019, academically accomplished, socially engaged, in fact, and the most diverse class we've ever had. And we continue that trend up into the incoming class this year. At the same time, our graduate programs, law school students, university college entrants, were all poised for success. And for all of us here, the leadership and faculty, we were very excited and had tremendous hope for you all. Then, as Yanis alluded to, COVID hit. And the impact was different for our undergrads, our UC students, graduate programs in law school, but it was all a huge impact. But here we are today. All of you thrived. Great example was when we reopened the campus, Roger Williams had one of the lowest infection rates of any institution in the Northeast. And that's thanks to you as individuals, but more importantly, because you looked out for each other. You looked out for your family. And here we are today. You're thriving. So let's take a quick sprint down memory lane, if we will, relative to the graduates here. A large number of you already have secured your full-time employment or have graduate schools lined up. Congratulations to you. Our advanced degree in law school graduates, thriving, as are our university college program participants. Our professional programs have done incredibly well as well. So congratulations to you all. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also say that class of 2023 sports rocked it. Rocked it. Women's lacrosse. Give yourself a hand. Women's basketball. All repeated as champions. Men's cross country. Men's track. Champs. Sailing. Number 2 in the United States. Wouldn't it be tough speaking at the Naval Academy, or Coast Guard Academy commencement today if you knew that you were behind Roger Williams in sailing? So, lastly, nearest and dearest to my heart, men's soccer. Give it up for men's soccer. First CC championship since 2006. It's a soft spot for me because I was captain of the Roger Williams soccer team in 1979, our first winning season. And I know you're looking at me like going, that must have been 60 pounds ago. And you'd be right. So here today, an extraordinary graduating class that fulfilled all that promise from 4 years ago with tenacity, with grit, a sense of community and self that bode well, not just for your individual careers, but as a family, bonded through adversity. You are destined to change this world. So on behalf of the board and the entire Roger Williams community, our deepest pride and most sincere congratulations to the class of 2023.
It is with great pleasure that I get to introduce our 2023 undergraduate speaker, Dominion Emanuel.
Wow, I feel like a celebrity. This is crazy. Good morning. Y'all can say it back. Good morning, come on. Before I present my remarks, I would like to welcome family, friends, faculty, and other distinguished guests. I would also like to congratulate the class of 2023 on all your hard work and dedication. Yeah, go ahead, yeah. Also, I want to apologize to the families sitting next to my parents. They're going to be very loud, so I deeply apologize. I see them over there. Okay, to the good stuff now. When I was writing this, I titled it, Let's See How It Goes. The it in that sentence could stand for anything. For example, the it can represent a new job, a new hairstyle, new shoes, shout out Josiah's, or even a new relationship. My it was moving to the United States. I was constantly being told what I could or could not be because of my ethnicity and race. Sort of like in Simon Says, how you can only do what Simon tells you to do. So, if y'all will indulge me, we're gonna play a very quick game of Simon Says. Y'all cool with that? All right, cool. Remember, you can only do what Simon says. So if Simon doesn't tell you to do it, you better not do it. All right. Simon says, raise your right hand. Okay, you can put your hands down now. Wow. 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 Simon didn't say to put your hand down, but you put your hand down anyways. I appreciate y'all. For all the people that left their hands up, just see me after. I'll give you a high five. Appreciate you. Simon says, put your right hand down. Thank you. Have you ever wondered who Simon is and why we keep listening to him? Simon is that negative voice that stops you from trying. This voice comes in the form of family, friends, or even societal norms. Despite this voice, You are not defined by the system or what others label you as. Simon says, leave. You don't belong here. This has been my reality since the very first day I stepped foot in this country. All the stories I had heard of America, and now I was finally here. In our first few years, we heard it all. The go back to your country, the fresh off the boat, even the slavery microaggressions. We chose to fight through it regardless of what Simon had to say because we knew that there was something here for us. God had not brought us this far for us to quit. Another example of this was my very first day at Roger Williams University. As a person of color and freshman, I felt lost when I first arrived. I heard Simon again say, yo, maybe you should transfer because this is not what we had in mind for college. And for a second, I agreed and I was ready to get a move on, but I immersed myself in the community, in and out of the classroom. I went to as many club meetings as possible and signed up for literally everything. I became an orientation advisor and had the opportunity to work with new students, helping them become acclimated to Roger Williams. I've taken great pride in cultivating a community for students from various backgrounds and experiences. For many of us, this is the time we use to find our friends, ourselves, our purpose, and even our significant others. Waking up every day and going to school for all these years is not easy, but we've done it. Simon also says, yo, your dreams are too big, be more realistic. For some of you sitting here today, this is a dream come true. Simon said you wouldn't be able to graduate because of the way you look, your family background, or your finances. But through all that, you made it. Through all those long nights rethinking your career or even procrastinating, trust me, I did it too, we still made it. There were even times where I would ask myself, do I really want to become an attorney? And jokingly, the answer was no. But once I discovered my purpose, I began working towards it. In my sophomore year, I had the opportunity to intern at an immigration law firm in Washington, D.C. This internship offered me a new perspective into the legal system and connected me with amazing paralegals and attorneys. I have grown to become passionate about advocating for others, and my goal is to continue this work as an immigration attorney. Thank you. What is your purpose? What are you meant to do? What if your purpose is not the same as your career? As you progress in this journey of life, I hope you discover your purpose and do things that make you happy. To the class of 2023. Clap for yourselves, please. Go ahead. I am so overwhelmingly proud of you. All these years of school, but we are finally here, we made it, and we deserve this. Some of us still have some more years to go, but this is still a moment to cherish. To our professors, faculty, and staff, we appreciate you, even though sometimes y'all do way too much with all those assignments. Professor Allen, I'm looking at you, wherever you at. To all my hard workers, continue the work that you do because it will get you very far. For the people who still don't know what's next for them, that's okay. When your heart speaks, listen and act accordingly. For all my marginalized individuals and families, keep on disrupting the system. People of color like myself at this university and in the world experience hardships that are sometimes unbearable. Despite all this, we continue to persevere, not only because of the color of our skin, but the content of our character. To all my immigrant families, this is a historic moment for you, and I congratulate you. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. In conclusion, I'll leave you with one final message. Galatians 6, verse 9 reads, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." Remember to be kind and show compassion in every situation. And when Simon says, you say no. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dominion, for those inspiring words. It is with great pleasure that I now introduce our 2023 graduate student speaker, Kelise Agosto.
Good morning, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, families, friends, and the graduating class of 2023. I am honored to be here with all of you in celebration of this great accomplishment and milestone in our lives. Not many people get to experience this day once, and as a graduate student, the number gets even smaller. As a class, we get to reflect on our resiliency and how we got to this point. For some of us, the challenges we faced were in the classroom, while for others, it was the social aspect of finding our place on this campus, or even in this state. I was 12 hours away from my family in North Carolina. I was living on my own, and it took some time getting used to. Moving to a different state and learning about the culture of New England. My mom's obsession with Duncan finally made sense. Duncan helped my classmates and I survive many role play sessions, late night papers, and endless group projects. Beyond the fact that I adore Dunkin' iced coffee, there are some other things I learned about myself. I was worried about failing as an adult and being all by myself. I developed confidence in who I was and the work I was doing via my experiences here, especially at Eleanor Slater Hospital, and creating space for myself. Many of us were led to believe two fallacies during our college experience. The first misconception I believed was that I needed to have a well-thought-out plan. During undergrad, I always had a plan. Everything I wanted to accomplish was mapped out in my head. This wasn't the case during my time at Roger. After I completed my first 2 semesters, I changed my mind about what I wanted to do. I had intended to go to a doctoral program after graduating, but I decided to go a different course and start my career. Initially, I was anxious because I didn't know what I was doing, but fortunately, I was able to secure a job that I'm very excited about at the Massachusetts Treatment Center. Thankfully, North Carolina is not too far away, and I can still have my mom make my favorite Puerto Rican arroz con pollo. The second misconception I believed was that not being busy was unproductive. We were taught that for us to be the most successful, we must keep moving endlessly. However, I realized that I had to slow down and be comfortable living in the present. Being in the present moment is where I found out more about myself, where my healing could take place, and where I could enjoy life. So, here's some advice. Enjoy the present. Be still. Always keep your doors open. Change your mind and change it again. Spend time with yourself, by yourself. Enjoy the quiet. Be comfortable in your own skin. It is okay that you don't have your entire life mapped out. Have faith in what lies ahead. You have overcome many challenges and will undoubtedly excel in all that you do. I give praise and thanks to God, my family, my church, friends, faculty and staff, and mentors. Again, congratulations to the class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you. This was wonderful. It is now my honor to introduce you our keynote commencement speakers, Joyce and Bill Cummings. Joyce and Bill embody the Roger Williams University spirit of making a positive impact on communities near and far. They are founders of one of the largest private foundations in New England, the Cummings Foundation. and leaders of the built environment with the real estate firm Cummings Properties. They both have so much wisdom to share on how to lead a meaningful life and career. I'm excited to hear their remarks. Please welcome my friends Joyce and Bill.
I hope this cane is very temporary because I don't enjoy having a third appendage. Oh, here. Good morning to all you new alumni. What a grand day this is for all at Roger Williams University. Couldn't be better, could it? Cool and sun. Bill and I are so pleased to share this wonderful day with all of you and to play a small role in this great celebratory event. We sincerely thank President Maroulis and the university trustees for the special honor you have bestowed upon us. We are also very proud to be a part of Roger Williams University's illustrious history of honorary degree recipients and to share the stage today with several more. This day is made even more special by everyone who is here, all the deans, professors, trustees, and senior advisors, officers of the university, along with the thousands of family members and friends who are here to congratulate you. All of these people are here to congratulate you. As you reflect on how much you have all gone through to reach this point, think about how much all of your families have also gone through for the last 20 years or more. Graduates, take a moment to thank each of your supporters and join me in showing every one of your teachers, family members, and friends right now just how much you appreciate their help and sacrifices. Let them hear you. Give it up. Some of you know Bill and me as the founders of Cummings Foundation, and others of you might know a bit of Bill's story as an entrepreneur who built Cummings Properties from the ground up to become one of the most successful and stable real estate businesses in New England. He'll tell you a bit of that story in a minute. But as you listen, you might wonder, what was I doing all those years? While Bill was busy building businesses and making money, my goal was to get through each day with 4 children, and my job was to spend the money. Don't get me wrong, we didn't have much when we married, and most of it went to the necessities as Bill put the profits back into the business. His take-home pay at that time was $25 a week. We have joked over the years that he married me from my money because I had the worldly sum of $2,000 in the bank. But we didn't care. We both learned at an early age how to be frugal, and our parents emphasized the importance of saving. Soon enough, the business was booming and we could afford a few luxuries. But to this day, we are still pretty frugal in many ways. We always fly coach class, with only one exception. While planning for our 50th wedding anniversary a few years ago, Bill announced we should fly business class on our way to Venice. He decided after 50 years of living with him, I deserved an upgrade, at least one way. As the years passed, that's a true story. I'm not making this up. As the years passed, Cummings Properties prospered, and in 1986, Cummings Foundation was formed. It has grown substantially and is now one of the several largest private foundations in New England. Bill and I have often been asked why we became deeply involved with philanthropy. And although it sounds rather Pollyannish to say, Bill and I were both active in church youth groups. He was a Boy Scout, I was a Girl Scout. Those activities were integral parts of our formative years. And I said before, our parents were very frugal and supportive in their communities. Simply put, it was how we were raised, and as adults, we chose to continue living that way. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former president of Liberia, was the world's first elected black female president and Africa's first elected female head of state. She said, "The size of your dreams must always exceed your capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough." Well, we have had some dreams, and although I don't think they actually scared us, they did at the time exceed our capacity to achieve them. But another saying I like is you can't get on water if you don't get out of the boat. So we got out of the boat and have managed to achieve a great deal. We read about the university's core values, and particularly about Roger Williams' commitment to work with local and global communities to address problems that matter most to society. You students are the future leaders of the world. You need to be welcoming to all parts of the world and carry that core value with you as you leave these halls. Get out of the boat, dream big dreams, and work toward fulfilling them, even if it scares you. Find a way to enrich the world. You don't have to do anything big and flashy as you begin to give. You will discover there are infinite ways to do philanthropy. After I gave a talk in a church setting, a woman came up to me and she said she wanted to give but didn't have the resources I have. I didn't know her well, but I did know she was a very caring person. And I said something about everybody doing what he or she can, etc. In retrospect, what I wish I had said was that I didn't have the resources of Bill and Melinda Gates. It didn't matter what we had as long as we gave something. Time and talent are often as helpful as money. Either way, giving can be so satisfying. Bill and I recently heard a homeless man tell a story about living on the streets. He said almost every Thursday, 2 college students would come to him with tuna fish sandwiches. They would sit down and eat with him and talk to him. That was the best thing that happened to him every week. He said those short visits meant more to him than getting big dinners during the holidays. Think about it. The people who are supplying those big dinners come once or twice a year, and then they disappeared. The students came every week for years. You, yes, all of you, can make the world a better place with your time, your talents, and your money. The only thing I remember from my own college graduation was the advice to read 1 book a month. That is still good advice, but if you remember only one thing from your commencement speech, let it be this: Gandhi's directive. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That is the best advice ever given. Be the change you wish to see in the world, and congratulations, we wish you well with the rest of your life. Bill?
Thank you, Joyce, and thank you, President Miroulis, for your kind and generous comments. Thank you, everyone else at Roger Williams University, for having us today and for this really special honor and recognition. You graduates have all grown so much since you were likely dropped off here 4 or so years ago at the start of your college career. And you've since gained so much knowledge from your coursework, which will be immediately essential to many of you in your selected fields. But think too about how much else you have gained by working with one another, frequently outside the classroom environment. You have learned to become active, engaged adults, and most importantly, you've become critical thinkers, often collaborating with one another. Some of you are going already on to graduate school, and that's great. and others of you are about to or have already joined the working world for the first time. No matter the path, all of you, I hope, are ready to bring essential and unique qualities to our society and to do this in a great wide world that we share. For all of you new graduates who are just joining the workforce, you just have such an enormous opportunity right now, and this couldn't be a better year to be graduating, in my opinion. Show your employers and show your colleagues, if you're in graduate school, what you can do to bring in fresh energy, excuse me, and new ideas. Show your spunk and demonstrate your ingenuity. Don't be afraid to show that you have learned how to work hard, and often as well, how to work with others. This is how we get somewhere. By working together, we can all achieve so much more than we could ever imagine on our own. Parents, haven't you been shocked to see some of the salaries that are being offered to your kids for their first jobs? It's just such a new world today. No matter how much you graduates are being paid, however, push yourselves to be the most dedicated and the hardest working among your colleagues. As Joyce said earlier, she and I both came from very modest backgrounds. All of my happy early memories came from living in a one-bedroom apartment above a liquor store and a laundromat. My sister and I shared the one bedroom. My parents slept in the living room. This was how it was. We were completely happy, and it's a little different today, but that's where it came from. My dad was a very hard-working house painter. He taught me the value of hard work, and I just so much recommend that it's such a good course to follow up what you're doing here with the same type of thing that brought you to where you are today. It's no exaggeration to say that I worked from the time I was 6 years old and all the way through Medford High School. Part-time jobs in those days paid usually 80 cents an hour, maybe 90. And I was just so pleased that one of my bosses gave me another dime. I got $1. And that was meaningful. And what does that extra 10 cents mean? But it's the recognition. I ended up very much during my pre-college career even, in doing other things other than working for an hourly rate. And I bought and sold Christmas trees 5 years in a big way with friends and classmates. I bought and sold used boats, boat motor and trailer. The whole thing might cost me $300. I'd sell it for $600, and that was fantastic as far as I was concerned. I managed to get myself through Tufts University. I did have one $50 scholarship. 1 year it was $50 scholarship. But this was the Tufts that you heard about from President Maioulis a little earlier back in 1954. Tuition then was tuition was $300 a semester. I don't know what it is now, but it's one whale of a lot more than that. After graduating, I had a couple of sales and marketing jobs with big national companies. I applied to Harvard Business School. It's the only place I applied, and they said, thank you, come back in 2 years and you're in. Well, 2 years later, I wasn't interested in starting again, but it was the type of thing that I did instead of that was working, and I think that anybody who might want to be in business for him or herself, don't try it right off the bat. Go get some money behind you if you don't already have it. And people are going to take you so much more seriously if that's your interest in what you want to do, when you've got your money to put into it and to invest in whatever it might be. I did that with a little vacant land after working in these national companies. bought a small food products company in half a mile from my home, my parents' home. Came back, built that company up, bought it for nothing, sold it for a lot. Ended up, while I was there, starting to build buildings on a couple of lots next door. Decided it was time to get away from that food business and be in the real estate business. But it was always a question of working hard. And if you're going to be entrepreneurs, you've got to work hard. You don't look at it and say, I want a job where I can come in at whatever time I want and leave when I want and play golf if I want 3 days a week. You'll go nowhere. If you're there, you set an example for the people with whom you're working, and you teach them, you mentor them, you give them a reason to care what you're doing and what they're doing, you'll be so very, very much better off. Building those buildings, I designed them myself without any training. There wasn't a Cummings School of Architecture anywhere nearby. I did that work with a T-square and a couple of angles on Joyce's dining room table, and that wasn't a very popular place, but it was the only place we had, and it worked for, a couple of years anyway, Joyce? A year and a half, probably, until we started hiring competent architects and designers. But again, we started small and then managed to make it quite a bit better. At some point, Joyce and I realized that we had created wealth that was beyond anything we ever imagined. We joined the Giving Pledge, was one thing at an early state. We founded Cummings Foundation in 1986. At some point, there wasn't any reason really to want to keep working hard unless we did something with those funds, not to work harder and continue the same thing we always did and put money in a box. That wasn't the issue. It was trying to do something with it and make it happen. There were many great needs to be filled, and that we were able to meet through the foundation and are very happy to be building something to leave behind. There's several $1 billion in the foundation today, and my successors, or Joyce's successors, will have a grand time in distributing that, I'm sure. But seriously, they'll do it in a very thoughtful manner, and it'll be, I wish I could be around long enough to see what it eventually might do. Many of you will know the late Dr. Paul Farmer, who was a dear friend and founder of Partners in Health. And he was one of the finest physicians and one of the finest people, in my opinion, who ever walked on the earth. Almost every important thing you will accomplish in life, Paul said many times, almost every important thing you accomplish in life, you'll accomplish it or it will be improved by working with other people. That was almost a mantra for him. Tragically, Paul died 16 months ago in Rwanda, where he was teaching at the time, and at the medical university, which Cummings Foundation was able to substantially build with a great deal of help from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Paul dedicated his life to the belief that everyone, everywhere, deserves quality health care. And over the last 20 years, he really did transform it. Shortly after Paul's death, Joyce surprised me one day. Out of nowhere, she told me that she had another man that she loved. That was a earful, wasn't it? Then she quickly added that this other man was Paul Farmer. Never mind, sweetheart, I said. That's okay. I loved him too. We both hugged and cried. Turn her over. In addition to being a doctor and humanitarian, Paul was a prolific writer and a superbly excellent speaker. Paul told me once, however, that commencement speakers are both boring and forgettable. Okay? Some, however, he said, were memorable because they were so long and so boring. Hopefully, Joyce and I will not have been too memorable for you today. As you look ahead to one day maybe writing the story of your careers, think about the kind of employee or educational or professional colleague you want to be. And as Dr. Farmer has taught, embrace every opportunity to achieve more by working together. With the worst of COVID behind you, I urge you to seek jobs with companies and institutions where you're expected to be there and work in person, where opportunities for connectivity and mentorship will be there, and those aren't there working at home, I'll tell you. I encourage every one of you to embrace this back-to-work trend, which is now showing up much more strongly, and be every day ready to be the team member, the best team member you can. Learn from colleagues with more experience than you. Ask questions. Challenge your assumptions. When we collaborate with others, we are exposed to different perspectives, and we find new ways of thinking and new ways of solving old problems. Throw yourselves into your work, wherever you find yourself. Learn everything you can and take advantage of every bit of training that you can get. Your education is not over. You've had a marvelous start to it, but recognize how much more you have to learn and need to learn. Look for jobs where you can start, where you can't wait to start the day. Look for jobs where you find yourself really planning the day, maybe while you're in the shower in the morning, but looking forward to it. Some of you will be entrepreneurs, and I can't begin to tell you how satisfying that can be. Maybe you'll build the kind of company where employees can't wait to work each morning, and wouldn't that be wonderful? Whether you plan to be an entrepreneur or not, graduates, save your money. Build a nest egg, build a financial net worth. These crazy things, when Taylor Swift up the street up here, how much are the tickets costing in there? Huh? How many people are going before I say too much more? I won't say too much more. But think about how quickly money can go, the money that you work for, and how quickly you can save it if she's not in town next year anyway. And my number one tip, don't use credit cards to finance anything, okay? Credit cards, it's so tempting to do it, but it's just, they're insane, the money you've had to pay to use credit cards. Learn how to invest your money in whatever financial vehicle makes sense for you and for your life goals. Take time to consider the goals are right for you and make sure to get some really good postgraduate experience. If you want to build your own business someday, just don't be in a rush. In concluding, work for 2 or 3 businesses first. Again, save that money, work hard. The university is exceedingly proud of you, and in many cases will be with you for your lifetime. Stay in touch with your alma mater and all of your Roger Williams friends. And as you move ahead in life and your careers, keep looking for opportunities to collaborate with others. And it gets to be very interesting when you do that at a professional level with the people with whom you graduated today. Our world will be better for it, and your lives will be enriched beyond measure. Congratulations again to the class of 2023.
Thank you, Joyce and Bill, for that inspiring address to our graduates and celebrating this momentous day with us. I would now ask President Mialis and Chairman Yeaton to return to the podium for the presentation of honorary degrees.
Each year, Roger Williams University has the privilege of awarding honorary degrees to distinguished individuals who have, each in their own exceptional way, benefited humankind. It is now my distinct pleasure to continue this tradition and to confer Roger Williams University honorary degrees upon 6 highly regarded recipients.
Thank you, Mr. President. President Mialis will now confer the honorary degrees as voted by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Heather Bajulian and Trustee Les Hisco, will you please escort Joyce and Bill Cummings to the center of the stage? Mr. President, I have the honor to recommend Joyce and Bill Cummings to receive from you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Joyce and Bill Cummings, your leadership in the real estate industry through Cummings Properties and dedication to local and global philanthropy through the Cummings Foundation are an inspiration of how to be leaders who care about their communities and are committed to leaving the world in a better place for the next generations. Once Bill's company, Cummings Properties, became the leading real estate firm in North Shore and Greater Boston, you both demonstrated a true spirit of community by leveraging your success to establish Cummings Foundation. You gradually donated the large majority of Cummings Properties' commercial property to the foundation and made it one of the largest private foundations in New England. Your impact has been tremendous in scope. In the greater Boston area alone, your foundation has donated more than $450 million to causes such as education, human services, healthcare, and social justice. You have contributed to global humanitarian efforts, particularly in aiding Rwanda's post-genocide recovery and rebuilding. In 2011, after already having donated 90% of your wealth, you joined the Giving Pledge, an organization founded by Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Melinda French Gates, through which some of the world's wealthiest people pledged to donate at least half of their assets. Your gift to Roger Williams University community charts a new era for our institution. Its transformative impact has launched new interdisciplinary real estate programming and has enabled the creation of the Cummings Institute for Real Estate. Through the aptly dedicated Cummings School of Architecture, the university is creating educational programming in the real-world experiences that will shape the future leaders of the real estate industry and numerous interrelated professions. Your generosity serves as a demonstration of your faith and commitment in our capacity to deliver a world-class education. Bill, your career as a real estate trailblazer, documented in your autobiography, Starting Small and Making Big, that's a great book, by the way, which mirrors so well the story of Rhode Island as a small but mighty state that is going to big places. It serves as an inspiration and role model for our graduates that they also are equipped through the Roger Williams education to do great work and make an impact in the world. Through your distinguished professional careers and your philanthropic leadership, you have, in every way, personified RWU's mission of being the leaders the world needs now. Joyce and Bill, for dedicating your lives to making our communities better places to live, we're honored to confer upon you both the degrees of Doctor of Humane Letters, given this 19th of May, 2023. Congratulations.
Trustee Lynn Foster Friedman, will you please escort Commissioner Michael Cox to the center of the stage? Mr. President, I have the honor to recommend Commissioner Michael A. Cox to receive from you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Michael A. Cox, you have led a distinguished career of more than 30 years in criminal justice, rising in the ranks from police officer to chief of the Ann Arbor Police Department, and now in your service as Boston Police Commissioner and chief of the Boston Police Department. Throughout your accomplished career, you have dedicated yourself to the mission of policing with dignity, respect, and compassion for the communities you serve. You have demonstrated superior leadership in developing more effective community policing practices and a stronger relationship between police departments and communities. And you have become a leading voice for improving equity and justice within law enforcement. Your courage and commitment to justice has tested both professionally and personally. In 1995, you are the subject of unconstitutional policing, racially profiled and beaten by your fellow officers in the police's search for a murder suspect. You have said, quote, "After these incidents, I had a choice, either quit, leave, or stay, and I chose to stay." Because you chose to stay and to publicly tell your story, you have continued your work of advancing the cause of justice and equity for many current and future law enforcement professionals and for the communities who depend on fair and unbiased service from their police departments. And as a Black police chief and commissioner of one of America's major cities, you serve as a role model to underrepresented people everywhere who aspire leadership roles in law enforcement. Your impact in our country's path toward holistic social justice has a unique meaning to us. RWU School of Justice Studies develops future law enforcement leaders trained in constitutional policing and procedural justice and dedicated to equity and justice for all. At our School of Law, we're leading the way with a racial justice-informed curriculum so that our law graduates will become leaders in advancing a more equitable and just legal system. Through your career and your personal journey, you embody that passionate drive to tackle monumental challenges and create meaningful change that Roger Williams University strives to inspire in our students. Commissioner Cox, for dedicating your life to serving and protecting our communities, and for your commitment to justice and equity, we're honored to confer upon you the degree of Honor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, given this 19th of May, 2023. Congratulations, congratulations.
Trustee Bill McKean, will you please escort Thomas Gilbane Jr. to the center of the stage? Mr. President, I have the honor to recommend Thomas Gilbane Jr. to receive from you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thomas Gilbane Jr., as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Gilbane, Inc., and Chairman of Gilbane Building Company, your leadership in the built environment has upheld your family's legacy as one of the leading integrated construction and facility management services firm in the world. As the driving force behind Gilbane Building Company, you have expanded across the U.S. and internationally, growing the organization to more than 45 U.S. and global offices. You lead with a one-company philosophy that maximizes the organization's resources and expertise on projects and business pursuits. Under your leadership, your organization has collaborated with Roger Williams University in many ways, and it has made a transformative impact on our students and our institution. Your partnership on scholarships and internship opportunities for Roger Williams students have provided greater access to deserving, underrepresented students and established pathways to developing a more talented and diverse workforce for the construction industry locally and globally. You have encouraged your exceptionally talented employees to teach courses, mentor interns, and serve on your advisory boards to help us build the highest quality construction management programming and the best prepared graduates who are advancing the construction industry. In October 2023, the National Academy of Construction will present to you its highest honor, the Ted C. Kennedy Award, which recognizes commitment to people, safety, integrity, and ethics, innovation, and a lifetime of achievement including industry leadership and community support. In 2014, you were recognized by the National Safety Council as one of the CEOs who get it, an annual recognition of leaders who demonstrate a personal commitment to world-class safety. Today, we're honored to install you within our ranks of Roger Williams University honorary degree recipients. Mr. Gilbane, for your leadership to sustainable built environments and your championship and support of Roger Williams University, we're honored to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, given this 19th of May, 2023. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Trustee Brian Stern, will you please escort Fred D. Gray to the center of the stage? Mr. President, I have the honor to present Fred D. Gray, Esquire, to receive from your hand the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Fred Gray, as a pioneer of the civil rights movement, you have won many battles in the struggle for equality and justice in America. You are distinguished as one of the few courageous black lawyers who risked their lives to attack segregation in the court during one of the most dangerous periods in the United States fight for equal rights and humanity. You have played a leading role in numerous pivotal civil rights moments. As an attorney, you are best known for representing Rosa Parks in her refusal to give up her seat on a city bus and for serving as the first civil rights attorney for Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. You also wrote the resolution that launched the Montgomery bus boycott. You filed the class action lawsuit that enabled the Selma to Montgomery March in 1965. You successfully argued for student sit-ins. You represented the victims of the Tuskegee syphilis study and later was the moving force in the establishment of the Tuskegee Human and Rights Civil Multicultural Center, Tuskegee, Alabama. Your representation of Lee v. Macon County Board of Education and subsequent lawsuits led to the desegregation of more than 100 school systems and all the public colleges and universities in Alabama. Throughout your career, you have been a leading figure in the legal system and policymaker. You were past president of the National Bar Association from 1985 to 1986 and the first African-American president of the Alabama State Bar from 2002 to 2003. And you're one of the first African-Americans to serve in the Alabama legislature since Reconstruction, serving from 1970 to 1974. To this day, you continue to practice law, specializing in civil rights litigation. You are the managing shareholder in the law firm of Gray, Langford, Sharp, McGowan, Gray, and Nathanson, PC, with offices in Montgomery and Tuskegee, Alabama. Among your many awards and accolades, you received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2022. You also received the Spirit of Excellence Award in 1996 and the Thurgood Marshall Award in 2004 from the American Bar Association and the City of Montgomery's Gift of Giants Award in 2013, celebrating the Montgomery bus boycott civil rights legends. With your legal acumen, your tenacity, and your courage, you helped lead in a new era of civil rights of generations. You truly have left an incredible mark as a civil rights leader. Fred Gray, for your lifelong and ongoing service to the cause of justice and equity, we're honored today to confer upon you the Doctor of Laws honoris causa, given this 19th of May, 2023. Congratulations.
Trustee Nicole Benjamin, will you please escort the Honorable Nettie Vogel to the center of the stage? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the Honorable Nettie Vogel to receive from your hand the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Justice Nettie Vogel, you have led a distinguished career of service to the state of Rhode Island and its communities. As Associate Justice of the Rhode Island Superior Court, you served for 28 years on the bench, presiding over a wide array of civil and criminal matters. Prior to taking bench, you practiced law for 19 years as a civil litigator, appearing in both the state and federal courts. Throughout your legal career, you have helped break barriers for women that served as a role model for generations of women aspiring to practice law and serve in the judiciary. In the 1970s, you were the first and then only woman handling back-to-back jury trials in the private sector. In 1980, you became the first woman to try a case before a jury, and you were visibly pregnant. You formed a successful civil litigation firm, which was the first female-headed law office in the state to represent insurance carriers. In 2009, the Rhode Island Bar Association recognized you as a legal trailblazer and honored your contributions toward advancing women in the law. Since retiring from the Rhode Island Superior Court, you are appointed by Superior Court judges to serve as special master to arbitrate issues in complex civil cases. You also work as a mediator in the private sector, amicably resolving highly contested and long-pending litigation. You have also been a champion of Roger Williams University School of Law since its founding and to this day. You served multiple terms on the law school's board of directors, taught as adjunct professor, and participated in numerous programs, including as past president of the American Inn of Courts and a frequent presenter at Women's Law Society programming. In 2022, the Women's Law Society of RWU Law honored you at its annual Women in Robes event. Justice Nettie Vogel, for your lifelong service to the advancement of law and justice in the state of Rhode Island, and for your unflagging support of Roger Williams University School of Law and its students, we're honored today to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa, given this 19th of May, 2023. Sorry.
Each year, the Faculty Senate recognizes faculty members whose outstanding and innovative teaching and commitment to students is exemplary. This year, I am pleased to call to the stage 3 faculty members who are being awarded the Excellence in Teaching Award, and 1 faculty member who is being recognized with the Spotlight on Teaching Award. Lillian Jesnick, Associate Professor, yay! Where is she? There she is. Associate Professor of Engineering, School of Engineering, Computing and Construction Management. Will you please come forward to accept your Excellence in Teaching Award from President Miaoulis?
Congratulations.
Joseph Roberts, Professor of Politics and International Relations, Feinstein School of Social and Natural Sciences. Will you please come forward to accept your Excellence in Teaching Award from President Miaoulis?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Raymond Hulling, Adjunct Faculty, University Studies. Will you please come forward? Is Raymond here? I'm so sorry, Raymond was not able to be with us today. We will get him his award at a later date, and we congratulate him. And last but not least, wonderful Kathy Nicoli, Professor of Dance. Feinstein School of Humanities, Arts, and Education. Kathy is not able to be here today due to illness, but we will get her this award and we congratulate her. This year's awardees embody our values and engage teaching and learning. We thank them for their dedication and thank all of our faculty for their efforts to support and inspire our students. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dean Bowman to present the School of Law Faculty of the Year Award.
Thank you, Provost. The School of Law has a long-standing tradition for selection of our Faculty of the Year. The award is selected by our graduating students, and it embodies not just classroom performance, but also student support and mentorship. Professor John Chung, will you please come forward to accept your Law Faculty of the Year Award from President Mialis?
It is now my pleasure to present our 2023 Alumni Speaker and Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Timothy Yeaton, from the class of 1980.
Did you miss me? So I'm back. Oh, by the way, I should let you know, we're getting there. We're almost halfway done. So I'm here now to talk about what it means to be us, to be alumni, you as new alumni. And I'm going to share a little bit of my journey because someday it's going to be many of your journeys. Or your journeys are going to be like the other alumni who are here on the Board of Trustees and Advisors. So I grew up poor in a single-parent household in rural New Hampshire. I'd been in an airplane once in my life before I came to Roger Williams. Never had been more than 500 miles from home. Neither of my parents were college educated, so shout out to the first generations out there. I was 43 years ago, I was one of you. But I was a good student, and I knew I needed to go to college to put my life on better footing. But I had no money, obviously, with parents not going to college, no career guidance. But fortunately, I found Roger Williams. I found that Roger Williams had a co-op style internship program, even back then, 1976. So I applied, I got a good financial aid package, and came to Bristol. Now, my first day on campus, imagine my background, right? Rural New Hampshire, you know, and I start meeting these incredible people. Students from Iran at the time, El Salvador, Thailand, Pawtucket, which, until I got here, I figured must have been a city in Thailand. And it was still a young school. It was evolving a lot. We had no gym. We had no labs. We had very few amenities. But we had one thing that you didn't. The drinking age was 18. We had our own pub. Yep. And some of the professors who are still around, Friday afternoons, we'd all be down in the pub splitting pitchers. So it was nice. The other thing was the university was not very good at branding back then, to be honest. I'll just give you a couple of examples. There are many more. At the time, we had two dorms, cleverly named Dorm 1, which you might now know as Maple, and Dorm 2, which is now Cedar. So, by the way, RA, Unit 7, Dorm 2, Cedar, that was me. So I was able to settle into campus life, but I was really nervous about what was going to happen, how I was going to find a path forward. But I was supported by an engaged, caring faculty and administration many of whom I retained relationships with until their retirements. And this is where I want to help you with thinking about your career path going forward. My first co-op job was as a program analyst in telecommunications, and it gave me two of the most important things that I ever got out of my education. Number one, my personal love for technology. I was scared to death of computer science when I came here, and I wound up making my career in technology. And second, it was the start of my building my professional network. And every single role I ever had in my career of 43 years, I can trace back to my connections here at Roger Williams and that very first co-op job. And that's why I wanted to share that with you, because you know, none of us know what our career trajectory is going to be. And you can't really plan for it. I guess it was the Mike Tyson quote that says everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, this is your first punch in the face, right? You're entering the real world. So I'm going to give you a couple things that I learned knowing the realities of, you know, the non-linearity of your career. So first of all, you're going to have some jobs that you hate. You're going to have some jobs that suck. Get something valuable out of every one of them. Build a contact. Find a mentor. Find people to emulate. Learn something new. Because you're going to go on to the next thing and the next thing and build on everything that comes before. Be intellectually inquisitive and curious, right? Be a continuous learner and always be analytical and solution-oriented. As you progress, and you've heard some of our distinguished speakers sort of allude to this in your career, soft skills start to matter more. Be humble. Be empathetic. Be a good listener. And even when you might be the smartest person in the room, you're never going to be smarter than that room. And your job is to figure out how to coalesce all that incredible thought and power and focus it on solving common problems. Be the catalyst for collective insights. And again, later on in your career, know what you're good at. And make sure you surround people who are great at what you're terrible at. Because you're going to be terrible at something. And that's okay. Which brings me to my final point about networking. You always network. And the Roger Williams Alumni Association should be your first professional network. I and many of our current trustees are members of the Alumni Association. We're officers in the Alumni Association, and we stay connected. It's a vast network of alumni who are here to welcome you, to plug you into our networks, because we were out there, years and years ago. And so we want to help you. We also have other resources for you. The Center for Career and Professional Development is available to you post-graduation, right? So, when you hit those bumps in the road, use these resources. They're there for you post-graduation. And we want to help you stay engaged. And there are many ways for you to participate in your regional chapters, of which we have many, as admissions ambassadors or mentors, and connecting via our many social media channels, which I'm pretty sure is an interwebs thing. So finally, you also have the opportunity to join us at Alumni Weekend this June, Homecoming in October's, and the many Hawks Take Flight alumni events that we're doing in cities around the area this fall. So on behalf of Roger Williams alumni around the world, welcome to the alumni family. God bless you.
Thank you, Tim, for your words of wisdom. This one we get to have some joyous fun. We shall now bestow the degrees earned in course by students of the respective colleges and schools of the university, as recommended by myself, the provost, to the chairman of the board of trustees, Tim Yeaton. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Board of Trustees, in the name of the faculties of the university and by their authority, I declare that the candidates of the several divisions have been found worthy of recommendation for degrees. Degree candidates, when instructed by your deans, please rise and be recognized. And this is where we want to hear you. And I always say it's not a competition, but last year Shay won, so. So, up your game. For the faculty of the University College, Dean Gina Bianco, please come forward to present the university's degrees and certificate candidates.
Thank you, Provost Everett. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the University College, I have the honor to present to you 139 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for several degrees and certificates. 69 bachelor's candidates, 43 associate candidates, 27 certificate candidates, 17 electrical apprenticeship graduates, 13 career and technical education teacher certifications, 60 English as a second language teacher certifications. Will the candidates please rise and be recognized? Will the candidates please be seated?
For the faculty of the Engineering, Computing, and Construction Management School, Dean Griffin, please come forward to present the Engineering, Computing, and Construction Management degree candidate.
Thank you, Provost Everett. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the Engineering, Computing, and Construction Management School, I have the honor to present to you 122 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the several degrees. Will the candidates please rise and be recognized? Will the candidates please be seated?
You got a second win there, Seacom. For the faculty of the Cummings School of Architecture, Dean White, please come forward to present the Cummings School of Architecture degree candidates.
Best school ever, I believe. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculty of the Cummings School of Architecture, I have the honor to present 126 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the several degrees and certificates. 41 master's candidates, 85 bachelor's candidates. Will the candidates please rise and be recognized? I could get really loud if I, okay, there you go. Will the candidates please be seated? And thanks for coming.
For the faculty of the School of Justice Studies, Dean Bronson, please come forward.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the School of Justice Studies, I have the honor to present to you 168 candidates who have fulfilled the requirement for the several degrees and certificates, 38 master's candidates, and 138 bachelor's candidates. Will the candidates please rise and be recognized? You can sit down now.
Oh, each school has their personality. Just love it. For the faculty of the Feinstein School of Social and Natural Sciences degrees, Dean Greenstein, please come forward to present the Feinstein School of Social and Natural Science degree candidates.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the Feinstein School of Social and Natural Sciences, I have the honor to present to you 213 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for several degrees. 31 master's candidates, 182 bachelor's candidates. Rise and be recognized. All right. You may be seated.
Here we go. Brace yourselves. For the faculty of the Feinstein School of Humanities, Arts, and Education, Dean Merriweather, please come forward to present the Feinstein School of Humanities, Arts, and Education.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculty of Feinstein School of Humanities, Arts, and Education, hey, Shay! I had the distinct honor to present to you 100,000, no, that's not true, 164 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for several degrees, 16 master's candidates, 148 bachelor's candidates. Will the students from the finest school at this institution please be upstanding? Mr. President, this is our school. Sit down, please. Thank you very much.
Oh, I look forward to that every single year. For the faculty of the Mario J. Gabelli School of Business, wonderful Interim Dean Bosco, please come forward to present the Mario J. Gabelli School of Business degree candidates.
It is my honor, Provost Everett. All right, GSB, we'll close it out loud. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the Mario J. Gabelli School of Business, I have the honor to present to you 196 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for several degrees, 18 master's candidates, and 178 bachelor's candidates. Will the candidates please rise, be loud, and be recognized? Woo, baby! Woo!
Got one more for the finest law school in Rhode Island. For the faculty of the School of Law, Dean Bowman, please come forward to present the School of Law JD candidates.
Thank you, Provost Everett. Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, and trustees of Roger Williams University, on behalf of the faculties of the School of Law, I have the honor to present to you 163 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for their Juris Doctorate from Rhode Island's best law school. Will the candidates please rise and be recognized? And now you may be seated. Thank you.
You're all winners, but Shay did it again. I would now like to invite the president of the class of 2023, Emma Carton, to join us on stage to lead the turning of the tassel. Immediately following the turning of the tassel, please remain seated for the recessional.
Hello, everyone. I am honored to lead my classmates in the tassel turn. The tassel turn is a symbol of our graduation. As we turn our tassels, let's take a moment to remember all of the academic and personal achievements that have brought us to this day. Let's also remember all of the family members, faculty, staff, and classmates with whom we have shared these past 4 years. Would the class of 2023 please stand? As a symbol of the completion of our respective degrees, please join me in moving your tassel from right to left. May I now ask the graduates to turn and face your families and friends to receive their congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, we're waiting for the bagpipes. Waiting for the bagpipes.